Pitching was the story last night, as Edinson Volquez outdueled a scrappy Carlos Carrasco in a Royals win. Pitching has been the story for Kansas City during a 3-game win streak, but it's the starters who have stolen the show, allowing 1 run in 20 innings. Josh Tomlin, meanwhile, has been a huge story for the Indians, making a case for a spot on the AL All-Star team as he tries to become the second 9-game winner in the league, next on Sports Time Ohio. It's a warm day in Kansas City, temperature soaring into the 90s as the Indians and the Royals continue their 3-game series for a battle atop the American League Central Division standings. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Indians lost last night, so Kansas City has closed the gap to 2 games in the Central. And last night, the hero of the game for Kansas City was a 27-year-old rookie in Whit Merrifield. He's waited a long time, but he's making the most of it.
Well, he certainly is. His first at-bat, it was his first Major League triple. It was helped and aided by Lonnie Chisenhall in right field. He broke in and then hit an 0-2 breaking ball for his first Major League home run. So he scored both runs in last night's ballgame. And you'll look at the start he's off to. He's playing a fine second base, a .330 average, 10 multi-hit games, and 30 hits this year in his first 22 games. That's tied for the most by Johnny Damon, who was a very good Kansas City Royal when he first broke in.
The other story last night was the pitching of Edinson Volquez because he really handcuffed the Indians. Different story tonight as Chris Young goes to the mound. His ERA is over 6, and he has been vulnerable to the home run ball this year.
Well, when he faced the Indians the last time, he certainly was. He had, before this game, given up 5 solo home runs in New York before this start, and the Indians got him for 4, 3 in 1 inning. And the 3 home runs by the left-handers with the same pitch, that slider. Now, look, we know he's a high fastball pitcher. You will hit a lot of fly balls with Chris Young on the mound. Here, it's a little bigger ballpark. Can he keep it in the park? It's humid today. Who knows? But he's going to try and, tie him up. He'll bounce him in the dirt and maybe get him letter high. We'll see.
Excited to see the cutter master, Josh Tomlin, take the hill tonight for the Tribe. When we come back, Alan Jensen will break down the pitching matchup from the studio. Then we'll be back with tonight's first pitch coming up. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Today, President Woodrow Wilson established June 14th as a chance to, quote, rededicate ourselves to the nation, marking this as Flag Day in America. Indians and the Royals reacquainting themselves here tonight. Kansas City has now won 3 straight. They've closed to within 2 games of the Indians in the American League Central Division, and we'll see if the Tribe can counterpunch and even up the series here tonight. If they're to do that, they'll probably need a big game from Francisco Lindor. Andre Knott spoke with him earlier.
What does this day mean to you a year later, and what were your nerves like a year ago in Detroit?
I was pretty nervous. Pretty anxious. Not at the beginning of the game because I wasn't playing. I knew I wasn't going to play. Halfway through the game where they told me you might pinch hit, my heart started pounding. My head started spinning, and I just remember just trying to tell myself to slow down, but there was no chance I was going to slow down. There was no chance I could have come down. So it's a big difference from last year to this year.
Are you happy with whatever you've been able to accomplish in your first year in the big leagues?
Happy, not satisfied. Happy, yes. Definitely I could do a lot better. I could do a lot more to help my team win. You know, I think that's what it's all about. You know, you play the game to help your team win, and we're a long way from the season to be over. So I got a lot of work to do as a player and for the team.
Frankie, there's no gimmies in big leagues, right? Every day's tough. Every day you got a different battle. Today you got a battle against the Royals, a team that's trying to catch you guys, a team that won the World Series last year. What's it like coming into this ballpark? Last night you saw what it was like, and you know what it'll be like tonight. What's the emotion like being in this park in a big series?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool seeing how it's packed on a Monday, how fans were in the game. Last night, Bolkus wasn't throwing strikes. I remember coming up to the plate, first pitch, he throws the ball, fans are booing. Next pitch, he throws a strike, fans went crazy. It's cool, you know, seeing those things, how much they're in the game. In June on a Monday night, it's awesome, and that's why the team they got success. They have success because they got a great fans that support them, and besides the team, they got a great team. They got great chemistry, and it's always fun when you play with a lot of fans and when you play a team that's been through it.
Sounds like when you guys get home against Detroit, it's going to be some big crowds back at home. How much is it helping this team believe in themselves to be playing where they're playing and be at the top of this division?
It helps us a lot. You know, first of all, having fans there, it means a lot to us. I think the fans in Cleveland are great. When they come to the games, they're in the game. You know, they could be one of the best fans in the MLB when they come to the games, and it's just encourage them to come out and support us because we're doing whatever it takes to win. I think we got a special team. Everybody is working as hard as they can. Everybody's doing everything to play in October. Everybody wants it. And we all hungry and we all push each other and we're having fun. It's a fun game.
I think it's very interesting that it was 1 year ago today that Francisco Lindor made his major league debut, and tonight will mark his 162nd game in the big leagues, which qualifies as a full season. Really interesting as he and the Indians try to even this series up at a game apiece. Let's look at the starting lineup for Terry Francona and the Tribe, brought to you by Progressive. Carlos Santana will lead it off once again as the DH. Jason Kipnis hitting second. He had 2 hits last night. Francisco Lindor bats third. Then it's Mike Napoli, Jose Ramirez, and Lonnie Chisenhall, who had a pair of knocks. Yan Gomes, Tyler Naquin, and Rajai Davis.
Our Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher is going to be Chris Young. Chris Young has not pitched since he last pitched against the Cleveland Indians. That came back June 5th. And he was rocked in that ball game. 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits. 4 of those hits were home runs. He walked 1, struck out 5. But in his career, he's done a decent job. He's 3-1 against the Indians. And he's going to go back again. High fastball, curveball, stuff down in the zone. He's going to try and get you, but he will put a lot of in the air. Let's check out the defense. Behind Young tonight is Dyson, Cain, and Orlando in the outfield. Cuthbert, Escobar, Merrifield, Hosmer on the infield. Perez doing the catching.
Jim Wolf will call the balls and strikes. Ramon DeJesus at first. Crew chief Gary Cedarstrom is at second, and Eric Cooper down at third. All aboard. The train is ready to leave the station. Santana 0 for 3 last night. He did draw a walk. And he takes outside, ball 1. Santana walked to start the game. And as you heard Francisco Lindor talking with Andre earlier, he walked the first 2, and the fans here they were ready. They were a little anxious in the early going. But Volquez got out of that jam, and Rick, he was never really in trouble after that.
No, he settled down after that. And Chris Young's not the same style pitcher. He has to throw strikes. He usually pitches from in front. Only 14 walks in his 41 innings and 42 strikeouts. But he has given up 17 home runs.
Santana looking into the Royals dugout along with Jim Wolf, the umpire. I think something happened to the glove of Salvador Perez.
They have to get a new one. Did some laces break? And you wouldn't think they'd break with Young pitching because he only throws about 88.
Maybe it's just too loose.
He's going to get a backup.
Something he doesn't like about that mitt, so he'll try another one.
Oh, they all have backups in case something happens to their baby. Look at him. He's taking a look at it and say, okay, this is my backup.
His hands are so big that glove
looks small.
Yeah. There's a strike to the outside corner, and Santana finds himself in the hole 1-2.
See, that's the little low breaking ball that he'll throw, and he changes the eye level north and south.
Two balls and 2 strikes just underway here in Kansas City. On a warm night, 91 degrees at game time. Santana chases and strikes out. Our great clip of the game from last night, Jason Kipnis, who doubled and he also homered. That accounted for the Indians' only run in a 2-1 loss to Kansas City.
Yeah, low scoring ball game. The Royals had 11 hits in the game. The Indians just 4.
It was one of those weird games in that the score didn't really dictate or didn't tell the story of how really one-sided the game was.
Yeah, they had base runners all night long. The Indians did too, with some walks and hit batters, but 3 double plays diffused a few innings. With Santana up there, it looked like Young tried to establish everything down in the zone.
And that's a little bit low, 3-0. Kipnis batting over 300 this year against Royals pitching, and his career .273 mark with 9 career home runs. And there's 4 straight that missed the zone, and the Indians have a 1-out base runner. Keys to the game are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Lay off the Young high fastball, get a pitch to hit. He allowed 16 home runs in over 120 innings pitched last year. He's given up 17 already this year.
And 9 in his last 2 starts.
Yeah.
4 to the Indians, a start before that, 5 solo shots to the Yankees.
And those 9 more than he had allowed in all of his starts leading up to last night.
He's given up a home run in every start. It's his 9th start this year.
What's interesting to note, I apologize if you already mentioned this, but 8 times while with the Royals, he's pitched on 6 or more days rest. And his numbers are really good at just a 2.68 ERA.
Yes. He might have that little extra juice on a fastball. You know, he's 37 years old. And, you know, he's only about 88 miles an hour tops with that fastball. He's a little deception. He's a big guy, 6'10", and it's tough to pick up the baseball on him. It's almost like a short arm, and it gets on you in a hurry. and then he throws that breaking ball down in the zone. That one. You know, in his career, though, you know, opposition hitting just .226, so he normally doesn't give up a lot of hits when he pitches. But recently, the hits he's been giving up have left the yard. Now, and it's a warm, humid night.
Yeah, now there's no breeze to speak of, but it is exceptionally warm and very humid. The 2-0. Lindor taking, and that does find the strike zone.
That's all right. After the 4 straight to KIPNIS, you might as well take a strike. Make him get back in the zone and don't help him out. That's pretty much what happened last night to Volquez in the first inning. He couldn't locate his fastball.
Quick throw, but KIPNIS back with a dive. Jason has stolen 3 out of 4 on the season. Upstairs, and it's 3 balls and a strike.
That's a guy that, you know, he may be rushing his delivery. He's a guy you can run on as well, and that's why they're paying attention to base runners. As a big guy, he doesn't have that slide step, although he can rush it a little bit. There you go. That's his normal delivery, and you can run on that. I would expect KIPNIS to be off and running here on a full count.
There goes the runner, and Lindor fouls it back. So we will try again. Now, pitchers, we've had this conversation before, are very routine oriented. So sometimes you give a guy a couple extra days rest, and it doesn't always work out well. But I think your point's valid. As you get up there in age, 37 years old, I think the extra rest could be more beneficial.
I agree. I agree. Although you can't do that if he's your number 5 starter. You can't keep bumping him out every once in a while.
KIPNIS doesn't go this time, and Lindor lines it into center field, a base hit. And Jason will stop at second base. I don't know if it matters, Rick, but it looked like KIPNIS wanted to go, and he was ready to go, and he had to stop because Young wasn't delivering the ball, and then he just decided to hold steady.
Caught in between. He gets the low fastball here, and Frankie just stayed on it nicely. Takes it right back up the middle. Almost hit the umpire standing on the infield grass. So they will have runners at first and second and just 1 out. Again, an opportunity in the first inning.
Yeah, and here's Mike Napoli, who could not cash in last night. He fouled out straight up in front of home plate in a key spot in that first inning. That's in the dirt, nicely blocked by Perez. Let's go down to Andre, who has more on this big Royals right-hander, Chris Young.
We always talk about the fastball up, and talking to some of the hitters, they said it's all about eye levels. They've got to keep it at the level that they know they can hit the ball, cannot hit his pitch. Also remember, when the Indians turned themselves around.
Uh-oh, your
check
heat,
those batteries.
The heat got you.
I think somebody stole his batteries.
What time is it, Andre? Let's go. Heat exhaustion.
2 balls and no strikes. The count on Mike Napoli. See, nothing.
That's the best thing that could happen right there.
It's like you're talking. It's like you're doing this broadcast in your room, just talking to yourself.
Andre, you can hear us? That's good, and you can't talk. Doggone it.
Young eyes the runner at second. That's KIPNIS. Gives him a second glance. And Napoli hits a roller to third. They're going to go to second. And they scoop it for 1 on the first. That's inning-ending double play. Chris Young escapes. And the Royals are coming to bat. Royals look like this tonight. Whit Merrifield leading it off. Alcides Escobar bats second. Eric Hosmer is third. Then it's Lorenzo Cain, Salvador Perez, who had 3 hits last night. Kendry Morales will bat sixth. Then it's Paulo Orlando, Chesler Cuthbert, and Gerard Dyson.
And the Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher is going to be Josh Tomlin for the Tribe. 12th start of the year. 2-0 against Kansas City this year. And in his career, 8-4. His last start in Seattle was his first no decision on the road. He's 4-0 on the road in 5 starts. This will be start number 6.
Whit Merrifield tripled and homered last night. Local paper in Kansas City today basically saying that there hasn't been an American-born player who's made the impact as a rookie at age 27 or better like Whit Merrifield has since Mike Aviles back here for Kansas City.
I remember Mike's rookie year as a shortstop here. He had a nice year.
And he might have been 27 or even 28 at that point. And it wasn't an easy, it wasn't like they called Mike up and just let him play. You know, they called him up and sat him and they tried a bunch of other combinations. And they finally gave him a chance to play. And he took off, had a tremendous rookie year, and by far, statistically anyway, his best season as a big leaguer.
Well, you know, this guy probably never would have had an opportunity if the guys don't go down. And
that ball's hit pretty hard. Back goes Naquin and makes the catch onto the warning track in deep center field for out number 1.
Let's check the Indians defense. Brought to you by Jeep. Behind Tomlin tonight, it's Davis in left. Naquin, who made that play in center. Chisenhall over in right. Ramirez at third. Lindor at short. Kipnis is at second. Napoli at first. Gomes doing the catching.
Alcides Escobar 1 for 4 last night with an RBI. He drove in the first run of the night with a bloop single in the right field. And that was nearly enough for Kansas City. But the Whit Merrifield homer made it 2-0, and that was huge because Jason Kipnis homered late in the ball game to get the Indians within a run at 2-1, but that was as close as they would get. 2-0 pitch and a ground ball right at Francisco Lindor. Knapp comes off the bag, applying the tag, 2 down. Some folks wondering before the game if it's a save situation, would Ned Yost go to his closer Wade Davis for the fourth day in a row? This quote might tell you the answer. These are 2 game swings right here, says Royals manager Ned Yost. He said before last night's game, we lose tonight, we're down 4. We're pulling out all the stops tonight.
There you have it. I mean, when you're in your division, there's no rest. You got to go out there and you play. I mean, this is a big series for Kansas City. They're at home. They're coming off a tough road trip. And yes, you're playing the team that's in front of you, so you're going after every game like it's a must win. Totally understand that.
Josh Tomlin looked like he had a strike there. No call. 2-0. Terry Francona's club, middle of the month of June, sitting atop the Central Division standings. But it is a division that is tightly packed first to fourth. Only 3.5 games entering the day, and 4 games in the loss column, which is the most important thing, separate Cleveland from Chicago. 2-1 pitch, popped him up. Is it playable?
It might be.
Ramirez chasing over to the dugout. He's there and he's got it. And the Royals go 1-2-3. A good start for Josh Tomlin. No score after 1.
At-Bat app. You can stay connected all season with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com At-Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Jose Ramirez leading off inning number 2. 0 for 3 last night with a walk. And Young evens the count 1-1.
Now that's one you don't want to see called by the umpires, that one up in the zone, because if you do, then you're going to have to start swinging at it.
Well, you talk about a tough act to follow. Danny Duffy, Yordano Ventura, and Edinson Volquez have allowed 1 earned run in 20 innings during the Royals' 3-game win streak.
Yeah, comes back to that starting pitching, doesn't it?
Sure does. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It didn't look good for Young in the first with 2 on and 1 out. But Mike Napoli hit into the inning-ending double play, and he was able to get out of trouble. Now the 2-2 foul.
Yeah, that's already the 4th double play the Indians have hit into in this series.
Up high and a full count. Payoff pitch, high pop left center, and an easy play for Lorenzo CAIN. 1 down, and that is Chris Young in a nutshell right there. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Royals with the best winning percentage now in the big leagues with their win last night, and the fewest losses at home in Major League Baseball as well. So you can honestly say the Royals have the Indians right where they want them. A little bit high to Lonnie Chisenhall for ball 1. But on the other hand, the Indians have been a very respectable 18-16, including last night's loss, on the road this year.
Yeah, and they seem to always play well in this ballpark when we come here. They always seem to find a way to score some runs.
Well, you and I were talking before the game yesterday. Even though the first 7 games of the season series were dominated by the Indians, you said you wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the year the season series is even up.
Yeah, it would not surprise me. The Indians, though, you know, since 2014, the start of that year, they're 9-5 in this ballpark, so they've always held their own here. It wouldn't surprise me. These teams always play close games, you know, divisional games, and it can go either way.
A little bit outside, 3-1, and Young is working from behind a lot. You remember that last start against Cleveland? It's not like they bombed him right out of the gates. He kind of hung around, and then they jumped him all in that 5th inning.
Yeah, well, and it was the slider that the left-handers were able to get. So Young will walk his 2nd tonight.
Both with 1 out. Andre, you want to talk to us now?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Andre, how are you?
I'm waiting for lightning to strike. This has not been a great day here in KC.
What time is it?
I've got a backup watch. Don't worry about what time it is. We talk about play here at Kauffman Stadium. Even the Indians players, they talked last night. They could tell the energy was different here. They said the Royals played with a different energy last night. And even Ned Yost says it's hard to pinpoint exactly what the difference is. We just have to start playing better on the road. But it's always nice to be back here at home. We're comfortable playing here, and we enjoy playing in front of our crowd. And the crowd was definitely into it last night.
Yeah, they were rocking. And we're looking forward to big crowds when the Indians return home.
You know, that's why
this coming weekend.
Yes, that'll be great. You know, that's why I said last night, Carrasco did a really nice job with the traffic that he had to, you know, limit them to just 2 runs with all the hits he gave up. He sort of kept them out of it. They start scoring runs, they can get loud here.
Yan Gomes looks at a strike, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Gomes last night 0 for 3, hit into a pair of double plays. Out of play to the right. Upstairs and a snap throw to first, but Lonnie back safely. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Off the end of the bat towards center field, but that ball carries out to Lorenzo Cain, and there are 2 down. And with 2 away, Tyler Naquin to the plate. Naquin 0 for 4 last night. Tyler has gone 3 for 19 on the road trip. But overall, since being recalled from the minor leagues, he's batted an even 300 with a double and 4 home runs. That's over a span of 11 games. He's quickly in the hole, 0-2.
Naquin was a guy that was able to hit a home run off Young back in Cleveland.
Rick, if you're Lonnie Chisenhall in this situation with 2 outs, if you see that high leg kick, would you take off and try to steal?
Why wouldn't you? I mean, this is a guy you can legitimately run on. He's about 1.4 delivering the ball to home plate. I know they got the best catcher behind the plate as far as throwing goes, but you got to take chances with 2 outs. Get yourself in scoring position. There's 2 strikes, and you're going to try and pick that curveball he throws.
No go to this point, even though Young has gone to that high leg kick on each of the last 2 pitches.
Yeah, and he's not getting a big lead. He's just getting out there and staying put. He's not trying to get inch off, so he's not even thinking about it. That's the one you try to lay off. Now I know he has 2 strikes on him. It's a little more difficult to do. You know, you see something close, you don't want to put it in the hands of the umpire.
A rocket shot by Hosmer. Chisenhall will head to third. Indians at the corners with 2 down here in the second
that's
inning.
why you like to try and steal a base right there. If you can get yourself into scoring position, base hit, and you can score. But he can go to third base. He slowed it down for him. It was a breaking ball that Naquin turns on, and Hosmer, it gets it past him as he's breaking off the first base bag with the pitch.
Now, if you want to play devil's advocate, had Chisenhall stolen, Hosmer's playing back. Maybe that's an easy ground ball for him. Who knows?
That's true, but maybe he wouldn't see the same pitch. Who knows?
Right.
But you know, with the 2 outs, my point is if you have a chance, it's the easiest guy to run on.
Rajay checks, but it's called a strike by home plate umpire Jim Wolf. Well, now the Indians looking for that 2-out RBI hit, and Davis has done a very respectable job with runners in scoring position, batting .333. Runner goes, throw to second. Naquin is in there safely.
You go. That's what I'm talking about.
His first major league steal. And let's see if that cashes in a run for Cleveland somehow, some way.
I mean, this is a guy you can run on. They know it going into it. They did it in Cleveland. Naquin just put his head down and go steal it. So now base hit, should play 2.
Oh, really high, almost to the backstop.
Well, you see, he went back to the full windup now instead of the stretch with runners on second and third. We see few pitchers do that, and to me, It makes sense if you're comfortable going out of the, the full windup.
And a half swing, a little roller to second base. And the Royals get out of the jam again. So Chris Young playing with fire, but so far he's getting away scot-free. Tomlin retired the Royals 1-2-3 in the first. He'll go to work in the second inning with LORENZO CAIN leading off. Fouled on the right side. Quickly the count 0-2. Strike three called. I mean, just absolutely locked him up there. Maybe CAIN thought that pitch was a bit high, but it looked like it was right down the heart of the plate.
Well, let's check it out on our Nissan pitch tracker. There's one right there. I mean, it hit Gomes right in the mask. And you know what? Young has had a couple of pitches called right there. I think that's the top of the strike zone. And it certainly is for Jim Wolf. And, in the past, we've always thought Jim Wolf is a very good ball strike umpire.
Generally, he's very consistent. Salvador Perez fouls it back. I saw a note today, Rick, on the MLB network that Josh Tomlin throws his cut fastball a higher percentage of the time than anybody else among starting pitchers. Something like 28% of the time.
That's a curveball there.
And they also gave the spin rate. I guess it spins a lot.
Well, it's a cutter. And it goes to the outside part of the plate. He can do it. He can throw it to both sides of the plate. Maybe that's one reason why he will throw it at a higher percentage. He can command both sides with
it. And he painted the inside corner on Perez. Back-to-back Ks on the Royals 4 and 5 hitters.
Well, and when he pitched him last time in Cleveland, he pitched him inside a lot. There's your cutter inside. Look at Gomes holding it right there. That's why he can throw it. He can command that ball. It looks just like a fastball. They think it's going to stay inside. It comes back a little bit. And the right-handers have a little beef, but I'll tell you what, it's pretty consistent.
And for folks watching at home, you may have noticed It's a fairly subtle maneuver by the catcher, but Yan Gomes has been very good in his career of just framing that ball. It may only be an inch or two, but just the slight movement of that glove can manipulate a pitch that might be a ball into a strike. It can't be a jerky movement. It can't be something that catches your attention. It's got to be just subtle enough that you don't really see it.
You can give Gomes a little chair to sit in and he can catch Tomlin with his control. You know, you don't have to worry about him because he can command all of his pitches. He would be fun to sit back there and catch, I would think.
His shin guards might not even get dirty when Tomlin's pitching, is what you're saying.
It's just fun to watch him. In, out, up, down, and it's just like, you know, there's some guys that, boy, they're tough to catch. And Bauer's one of them. You know, he throws that curveball in the dirt, and his ball moves all over the place. But I mean, he's not easy to handle.
Yeah.
Tomlin looks like it's a day off back there when you're not diving and blocking balls off your arms.
Remember Fausto Carmona in his prime?
Oh, my goodness.
That's not an easy guy to catch. Hard to hit, hard to catch, too.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hung a breaking ball, and Morales ropes it into right field for the first hit of the night by Kansas City.
Well, there you go.
Once again tonight, we're participating in the home run challenge. Every home run hit in tonight's game will raise $7,400 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge. Go online to homerunchallenge.org. Father's Day coming up.
Started yesterday, so there was a
couple of home runs hit last night.
Yeah, a couple of home runs, right.
Paulo Orlando. I asked you about this before the ball game. I thought it was an interesting choice by Ned Yost to play Orlando in favor of the left-handed hitting Ray Fuentes. First and foremost because Orlando is just 1 for 11 against the Indians this year, while Fuentes is 7 for 13. However, you countered with,
well, I think Tomlin's better against left-handers than he is right-handers this year, so he wanted to get the right-hander out there. I think Orlando a little better defensive player too, and you've got the fly ball pitcher with Young on the mound, so twofold.
Sometimes the numbers on the surface don't tell the whole story.
Yeah, and I you know what, I originally was thinking about that today before we came to the ballpark, who would be playing. I thought that Fuentes would be in there because he is left-handed, but then you look at the numbers and
missed inside. Overall, Orlando's having a terrific year, batting .323, but against the Indians, he just hasn't been able to get on track. 2-1 pitch, and he bloops one into right. And Kenry Morales will stop at second, so the Royals threatening now with back-to-back two-out singles. Our Levin Furniture player profile is on Cheslor Cuthbert. Now, Cuthbert was born in a Nicaraguan territory, which is about 45 miles east of the Nicaraguan coast, the Corn Islands, which used to be under U.S. control, so everybody speaks English there. And his dad, Luis Cuthbert, made his living as a lobster fisherman, but he used to be an amateur catcher and a baseball coach in Nicaragua. And I didn't realize, you know, you think of all of the different foreign-born players that have played Major League Baseball throughout the history of the game, and only a handful from Nicaragua.
Yes, true.
Not many.
Dennis Martinez.
I believe the number is less than a dozen. El Presidente.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. That's the first one that pops into your mind, or at least my mind.
Swung out and missed, and a terrific clinic of pitching right there by Josh Tomlin against the youngster Cheslor Cuthbert. Tomlin fans 3 in the second, sandwiched around a couple of hits And we are scoreless through 2 in Kansas City. Inning in Kansas City, and as Carlos Santana leads off, our Kia in the driver's seat shows you that in his career at Kauffman Stadium, Carlos has made himself right at home. Isn't that amazing, Rick? In 46 games, he's got the most home runs by an Indian ever in this ballpark.
Yeah, remember that one weekend he had here where he hit 5? He had some kind of weekend, both sides of the plate.
I mean, you're telling me Albert Bell, Jim Thome, all those get nobody hit more than Santana. I know this hasn't always been a hitter-friendly environment, but that's surprising to me.
Yeah, this is a legitimate ballpark when it comes to hitting homers. Used to be a little bit bigger too back in the day when they had the turf.
The 0-2. How many long, hard-hit fly balls did you see bounce over the fence for ground rule doubles here?
When it was turf?
Yeah.
Well, you could see it. Yeah, you would see a lot.
Were the fences any higher, maybe?
No, I think they were back a little bit more. I think.
But I'm thinking, you know, some of those like old turf stadiums, I think at Three Rivers Veteran Stadium,
yeah,
the fences were super high to try to take that away a little bit, I would think.
Well, yes, but they weren't that high. I mean, they might have been a little higher than they are now, but the fences are in about 10 feet compared to what they used to be.
Yeah, you never saw anybody in the 70s in those stadiums go over the fence and rob a home run.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah, like
you
10,
need
12.
a ladder.
Yeah.
You know, hold on a second. Give me time. I got to put that ladder up and climb it. Yeah, the National League cookie cutters, they were a lot higher.
Santana jolts one high in the air, right center field, deep. CAIN back on the track at the wall. It is gone. And Carlos Santana does it again. How do you like that? His 13th home run of the year, his 20th career home run against the Royals, and I believe that's number 13 in this ballpark.
Well, you couldn't have put that graphic up any better, could you? In that at bat, let's see, he gets one upstairs here, and it was out over the plate. Santana likes to get some extension, and that ball was hit high, so it had that backspin and the carry to it. And that one is out of here, so Cleveland will play from in front, 1-0.
KC Santana.
Yeah.
Well, the Indians, they have been a juggernaut when they score first this year.
Yeah, they're 26-6, and they've won their last 12 when they get on the board before an opponent.
KIPNIS takes it up high.
That's home run number 18 surrendered by Young. And what at least that we know of, the last 10 have been solo shots that he's given up.
Yeah, I don't know the overall numbers, but I do know that when you look sometimes individually at players, the 3-2 pitch, you see a lot of home runs. The guys hit, you know, a lot of times it seems like Rick, it's either a first pitch or a 3-2 pitch.
Well, and leading off an inning will have something to do with it. They want to walk a guy, and you get a, you know, you give in and give him a pretty decent pitch to swing at. And there's a couple of breaking balls.
Second strikeout for Young.
Well, this is a hard biting breaking ball, goes straight down, and you swing over the top of that one. And Kip likes that ball down and in. But that was a very good pitch.
And Lindor takes a high fastball, and that's called a strike. Lindor smacks it into left center field. They had him play the other way. He's going to turn and burn and head for second. And by the time CAIN can track it down, Lindor easily into second base with a 1-out double.
Well, Lindor now 2 for 2. He put a nice swing on that ball. This one, you see, both times that Young has been able to get the ball down to Frankie, he's been able to put it in play and hit it hard. This time, look at nice swing, stayed on it, stayed through it, went up the middle. That ball shoots into the gap. He cruises in his 13th double. That's 4 hits now for the Indians. Oh, he got him.
Goes to third, almost threw it away, but Cuthbert made a nice catch on it. And now the lob toss back to third. Lindor is hung up and he's out.
Yeah, he gave him the old spin move. And I think once he took his eye off him, Frankie thought he was going to go to the plate, and he did not watch him. Sam, he sees him, and then there you go. Give it up, get him in the rundown, tag him out. You're in scoring position. No need to steal it right then and there.
So now 2 down, and Mike Napoli, who bounced into a double play that ended the first inning, takes a look at ball 1. That's hammered left field, and a foul ball.
Well, I want to send along some congratulations tonight and wish a happy 60th anniversary to good friends John and Marilyn Ferrone. John used to be a Cleveland chief of police back there in the old days at the old ballpark. Gus and John, good people. Happy anniversary, John and Marilyn. They were there at Parker's perfect game, trying to keep Drennan away from Lenny.
Napoli looks, and a strike is called. It's 1-2. And he waves at a breaking ball, and the inning is over. So Carlos Santana gives the Indians the early lead on his 13th career home run here in KC. One to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Chopper to first. Napoli says thank you very much. One down.
Well, you can grab a Jason Kipnis replica jersey. It's gray. It's courtesy of Key Bank. That'll take place Saturday. The Chicago White Sox will be in town for the weekend. Plus, post-game fireworks presented by J&M Smucker Company will honor the 2016 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. You can visit Indians.com now to get your tickets.
Top of the order, Whit Merrifield. He flied out to deep center. His only time up. Royals manager Ned Yost told Kansas City's general manager Dayton Moore, hey, this kid's no flash in the pan. He goes, he's got a short, compact swing. He said it works here at the big league level. Now, as you pointed out, the reason he's a 27-year-old rookie is that their lineup, their roster is pretty well set, but injuries open the door. Now what happens down the road will be interesting to see.
Well, it's fun to see. You know, when you get guys that step up, you know, when you're having tough times and problems. Moustakas on the disabled list, Gordon's on the disabled list, Infante has been hit or miss here, and he's signed to the long-term deal, and you get a young player that comes through your system and gets off to a start like this. You certainly keep your eyes on him. Now they moved him, they thought so much, into that leadoff spot where Escobar was leading off when they were on the road trip and we were in Cleveland. But they move him out of there, and you know he's hit leadoff in the minor leagues as well, so he's comfortable in that spot. And I'm sure they'll ride it out and see how he does. He looks like a good young hitter.
Well, I don't know what they still owe Omar Infante, but his days may be numbered.
He signed a 4-year deal. I'm not sure exactly when it ends, either this year or next.
I'll let you know here in a second. There's a fly ball to left. Pretty well hit. Rajay Davis sprinting back on the track at the wall, and he's done it again. Whit Merrifield, for the second night in a row, has gone deep for Kansas City, and we are tied at 1.
Well, those power hitters, they come in bunches, don't they? Well, he hit the solo shot last night, comes right back. He ties it. It's going to be a cutter. That's the inside cutter that it came out over the plate. That's the thing. If you don't get it in, that ball leaks out to the middle of the plate, and he was able to do some damage. Now, for the Kansas City Royals, that's another home run. That's 11 straight solo shots that they've hit.
Now a bloop shot towards center, but Naquin will move over and make the catch. 2 down.
That's all just a mistake pitch there.
Now Whit Merrifield is making himself an everyday member of this ball club, and I looked it up. Infante is signed through next year.
Okay, so you have 1 more year. And the Royals have homered now in their last 5 games, but their last 11 home runs, solo shots. The last time they hit anybody on base, it was by Drew Butera. That was June 2nd, that 2-run shot back in Cleveland that he hit. So they're hitting him, so it's just 1 swing, 1 run. Tomlin last start gave up 2 solo home runs, and that was the only runs that Seattle scored in his start. He left in that no decision, tied at 2, gave up 9 hits in his 6 and a third innings, but 2 solo shots. So 1 here tonight.
The 0-2 is in the dirt. Hosmer lays off. Hop to center, and there is Naquin again. So the Indians and Royals have traded solo shots here in the 3rd inning. Merrifield answers the Santana homer with 1 of his own, and we are tied at 1. Ohio crew and staff. Brian and his wife Amanda Hyla welcomed Emily Ann Hyla this morning at 3:30 a.m. 7 pounds, 19 inches long.
Congratulations.
Everybody's doing great, so we're
Good
happy,
news.
really happy for the two of them. Jose Ramirez leading off, takes a strike. It's 1-1. Fly to center his only time up. That was on a 3-2 pitch. Interesting, he led off the second, leading off again here in the fourth. 1-1 score. A solo home run for each side.
Yeah, they were able to answer that lead the Indians put on the board.
And Ramirez jolts one. Deep right. Paulo Orlando backs up just shy of the wall and pulls it down. One away.
Well, if you're a fly ball, which both these guys are tonight, you better make them use the big part of the field. He gets a breaking ball, and I was just watching before that pitch. That's the pitch. He got in just enough. Orlando moved over about 10 feet to his right towards right center field before that pitch.
Lonnie Chisenhall walked his only time up tonight. Up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Chris Young has struck out 3 and has walked 2. He's allowed 4 hits, a double and a solo homer. A little tapper by the mound. WHIT Merrifield throws him out. 2 down.
Well, Tribe fans can enjoy Sugardale Dollar Dogs and a classic hip-hop fireworks after the Indians take on the Chicago White Sox. Plus, you can enjoy $2 Miller Lite cans before the game, along with live music at our block party in the right field district. You can visit Indians.com and get your tickets.
Jan Gomes yanks one fair down the left field line. He's headed towards second base. Dyson digs it out. He's got a good arm, but the throw is... He came off the base, and he's out at second. And that has just been the way it has gone for Jan Gomes of late. Finally gets himself a good knock. And down at second base, he's called out because he came off the bag. He's safe. Oh, I think he pushed him off the bag.
Well, you
favorite player hit a grand slam today.
I wonder whose that is.
Josh Donaldson also had 2 doubles, 5 ribbies as the Blue Jays abused the Phillies. They've scored 10 or more in 3 of their last 4. And Toronto is now 36 and 31. Very much alive in the AL East. A lot of people think it's a 3-horse race, but you know what? I wouldn't go throwing dirt on the Yankees just yet.
Way too early to throw dirt pretty much on anybody.
Josh Tomlin delivers, and it's ball 1 to Lorenzo Cain, who was called out on strikes his first time up. Slow hook in for a strike. And a foul right back. Puts Cain in the hole, 1 and 2. He's kind of flexing that right hand. I don't know, Rick, if he, on the follow through, if he might have tweaked his wrist a little bit there. Ground ball right at the shortstop Lindor. Takes his time, makes a perfect feed, 1 away. Take a look at the All-Star Game balloting. 3 Royals. Cain, Hosmer, and Perez. Leading vote getter. How about that? Sal Perez is the leading vote getter out of everybody. It's a little surprising, I think.
A lot of people, everybody loves him here in Kansas City, but he's very popular. You know, when you look at the Royals.
That's kind of cool to see that it's not dominated by the big market guys.
Yeah, like it's usually Trout, isn't it?
Yeah. Or, you know, a guy like David Ortiz in his final season, you'd think he'd get a lot of the sentimental vote, maybe.
Right.
He still might before it's all said and done. Speaking of sentimental, we want to send out belated birthday wishes to our man, the commissioner of the Ohio Amateur Softball Association, Mr. Warren Jones.
Is it Warren's birthday? Happy birthday, Warren.
It was yesterday.
Belated, my friend.
But we figured
Matt probably
we figured he was watching the Cavs game, so we cut him a little slack. So happy birthday.
You didn't forget the paper, did you?
WJ.
Warren, all right.
Sal Perez called out on strikes. His second time, or his first time up in the 2nd inning. Now, like Cain, he's down 1-2, and that's a little bit high. In the air, right field, over near the line. Lonnie Chisenhall will make the catch. 2 down. You know, I was just thinking about Salvador Perez. Since he came back from the thigh bruise, he's hit everything in sight. 5-game hitting streak, 10 for his last 20. And I started thinking about what you told me yesterday, how Bruce Bochy had sat Buster Posey for 5 straight days.
Right.
A couple off days mixed in there, so gave him 5 straight days off. I know it's an injury situation with Perez, but you know, maybe a little week rest might have done him a lot of good too.
Yeah, for those guys behind the plate, you're not kidding.
The Royals go 1-2-3, and after 4, we are deadlocked at 1 in Kansas City. Ball is brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. City of Fountains, Kansas City, Missouri, on another warm night in the heartland. And it'll be even hotter tomorrow. Temperature supposed to reach 101 degrees tomorrow. So if you like today, wait till you see tomorrow. It is going to be a scorcher. Tyler Naquin singled, stole a base, stranded in scoring position his first time up. Takes a fastball strike just above the belt. Naquin swings through, and it's 0-2.
When Young's on his game, he's the same way. He pitches in front. He's a lot like Josh Tomlin. They move the ball around. He has walked 2, struck out 3, but he's usually around the strike zone and gets a lot of swings.
And he ran 3 right by Naquin. 4th strikeout for Chris Young. One down here in the 5th. The $13 district ticket presented by Sports Time Ohio includes your first drink, so grab some friends, catch the game from the corner or the new drink rails and left. District tickets available only online at Indians.com/district ticket. Dylan G warming up in the Kansas City bullpen. Just over 75 pitches for Chris Young.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll keep a very close eye on him because with him it can happen quickly.
Well, he's only faced 4 batters once he's gotten above 90 pitches this year.
Yeah, well, you're right. It happens quickly, like the 3 home runs in that 1 inning back in Cleveland, so they know. Get to a certain spot, and usually 5 innings is his game. 6 innings is like a complete game for him.
The extra rest seems to have done him a lot of good. He has pitched very well, very effectively here tonight. He's given up just the 1 solo shot. A double play bailed him out of potential trouble in the first, and that, looking back on it, could be huge. A base running mistake might have helped him get out of the 3rd. You know, that I don't think you can overlook that scenario where with 1 out, a run had already scored. Lindor had doubled. He's standing in scoring position with Mike Napoli at the plate. He gets thrown out, then Napoli strikes out, and that inning quickly fizzled.
Yes.
Rajay Davis going to draw a 1-out walk here.
Well, I'll bet he won't stay at first base for long.
In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Here's how it happened. Carlos Santana leading off the 3rd on a 3-2 pitch. 1-0 Cleveland. Bottom half of the inning, Whit Merrifield launches one to deep left field. That's been it. Third walk issued by Young here tonight. And Santana, with 13 career homers here at the K, steps in again.
See how much attention they pay to Rajai.
Well, let's just hope that all of the attention and energy focused on the guy at first. And maybe that gets Santana a better pitch to hit.
Well, it might, and you also may see a high fastball up and away early in the count. So an easy pitch for Perez to throw on. Not a pitch out, but like a pitch out.
Hopped it up right at the plate. And Perez misplays the ball. It's foul, though. Santana took off late. It's a foul ball, and so everybody stand down. With Perez, who's usually as good as they get.
He's looking at Cuthbert like he called him off. Watch, he had it, and then all of a sudden, you see what I'm saying? Yep. He heard footsteps. Now, I can't tell you that he was calling for it. We couldn't hear him, but that's why he gave up on it. It was Perez all the way, and now he's looking at his third baseman like he called for it. Who knows?
Clearly a foul ball. You can't review it because it's in front of the umpires.
I want to know if they felt that the ball hit Perez at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? Where it landed fair and then went foul.
Still wouldn't matter, though.
Well,
you can't review it because it's in front of the umpires.
Yeah, I got you. Let's see where it lands. Oh, it was foul to begin with all the way.
I think it did.
See, that's what I'm thinking. It got some equipment. They thought it was in fair territory, but it wasn't. And it doesn't matter anyway, as you said.
Throw to first, and Rajay just does beat the tag.
Well, it's a break for Santana. He gets a extra life here in this at bat.
Oh, that was really close. And Rajay.
Well, they're going to hold off, and they're going to take a peek. Did he tag him? And Hosmer said no. He just flipped his hand. I don't know if he tagged him. You know, you take a look. You come back. Does he tag him?
He missed.
No, he missed him, and plus his hand was on the base, so they're not going to challenge that. Hosmer, I saw Hosmer go like that. Just go ahead. So he realized he was safe.
Rajay, though, continues to force the issue. He's got another big lead. Bluffs the move, and it pitches high 1-1.
And he's taking him out of his normal delivery. You know, he's sort of like with that little slide step going to the plate, and he's upstairs with the pitches.
Well, you just got to hope that Santana, you don't want to be home run happy here. You'd love to see him hit them when they do, but that foul ball that he got a second chance on, hopefully he can take advantage. Runner goes. Pitches high, throw down, and they got him. No, he's called safe.
Well, he's sitting right there. They'll also look at that and see what they think. But Cederstrom just kept his eyes on the play. Rajay, a good jump. And there's the best throwing catcher in the league. Let's see. He gets him. And no, he never tagged him until he got up on the thigh.
Yeah,
and the hand was in there.
Watch. The ball beats him.
But where's the tag come?
High.
Up on the thigh.
He missed the hand.
And his hand is in the base. It was a good call.
Just barely kept the toe on the bag.
It's a good call. So he gets himself into scoring position, his 16th stolen base.
A great job by Gary Cederstrom to stay with the play.
It certainly was.
And now Santana in an RBI situation with a 2-1 count. It's up high. Yeah, I just love the fact that Rajay Davis has given the Indians an added dimension this year they haven't had in years past.
But when he goes early. You know, he doesn't mess around, man. He's out there. He means business.
But just this whole at bat for Santana, you can tell the focus for Young has been squarely on the guy at first base, not really on Santana.
You know, he's exciting.
Spin move, but back safely is Rajay.
Well, I would think this may be Young's last hitter, regardless of what happens. That's why they keep throwing the bases, and you know, Gee has to be warmed up in the bullpen.
Hop back out of play and a full count on Santana. Go ahead run in scoring position with one out here in the fifth. The outfield swung around toward right. Huge gap left center. And the payoff pitch is high. Ball 4. He's walked 2 in the inning. And now Ned Yost is going to make his way to the center of the diamond, and one would assume a pitching change is forthcoming. Well, 1-1 ball game. The Indians have 2 on and 1 out. And Chris Young, his night is over. He goes 4 in the 3rd innings here this evening. The Indians, they didn't bomb him like they did the last time they faced him, but they still knock him out in the 5th. And the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen by Ned Yost has been made. And we'll be right back here to Kansas City to tell you about the new pitcher. Two and a half weeks ago, Royals catcher Salvador Perez and Royals third baseman Cheslor Cuthbert collided on a little pop-up between home and third. Perez called for it. Cuthbert slammed into his leg. Perez didn't have to go on the DL, but he did miss a week of action. Tonight, not exactly the same play, but could that have had any bearing on it?
I'm sure it did. You see, he sort of waved him off. You see his hand waving, and then I thought, after we watched it, I heard maybe Cuthbert, I thought he said Selvey. I could be wrong, but you know, he was maybe just letting him know he's going to get it. And yes, I'm sure that had something to do about it. Those two colliding.
Well, that's a huge play, because instead of an out and a runner at first, and there's 2 down in the inning, Santana ends up working the walk. Now you've got 2 on, 1 out, and the new pitcher into the ball game. It's right-hander Dylan Gee.
That's the break that the Indians see if they can take advantage of it. That extra out in the inning, no question about it.
Jason Kipnis walked in the first, struck out in the third. Pitches inside, ball 1. Go down to Andre.
Guys, it was the other way around. Salvi was asking after the play, did he call him off? They also had this same play and the same problem this past weekend in a game where they ran into each other. So this is the 3rd time they've had this type of play over the last month.
Did you hear anything down there?
Yeah, no one called anything, but Salvi afterwards asked him, he goes, did you call me off?
Line drive, base hit, center field. Rajay Davis screaming around third. He'll try to score. Cain's throw to the plate, not in time. Rajay slides in safely. And the Indians take a 2-1 lead on a big base hit by Jason Kipnis.
Attaboy, you take advantage of it right now. This is going to be our AT&T high-speed replay. He goes right back up the middle with a fastball, and the speed of Davis comes in and beats the throw of Lorenzo Cain to the plate. It's 2-1 Indians. And they still have runners at first and second. So that extra out certainly pays dividends for the Tribe, and they're not done yet.
That ball almost nailed Gee on its way back through the middle.
Yeah, he hit it right back where it came from.
Lindor already 2 hits on the night, a single, a double, bunting foul. Back to the screen by the Indians dugout.
Don't understand that, because the third baseman's in at the bag. You got runners in scoring position. Drive them home.
Well, I can see maybe if there's nobody out and you feel like you
drive them home. Yes. What are you bunting them for? The element of surprise. You got ribbies out there, man. Those are steaks you got to drive in.
Upstairs, 1-1. Fouled back to the Indians dugout. Well, I am sure that from what we've been able to get to know of Francisco Lindor since he's been with the Indians, that he is still burning underneath after getting thrown out.
Well, that was another mistake. You're trying to steal a base when you're in scoring position. You got your leading RBI hitter at the dish with 1 out. So those are 2 little plays right there. You got to say, what are you thinking? You know, here's Napoli after he just hit a double, and he gets caught trying to steal third base when you're already in scoring position. Young did the spin move, gets him, he gets tagged out. Now you got first and second, 1 out with the pitcher that just came into the game and gave up a first base hit, and he's trying to bunt.
Now the 1-2 in the dirt, and a beautiful stop by Perez.
He's like a backstop back there. I'll tell you what, he's a big man, but I'll tell you, he finds ways to keep balls out in front of him. Look at that big body. Almost came up a little too quickly on it, and it got underneath. It did not, and it goes straight down where he holds the runners. Those are plays that never show up in the box score, but are appreciated by managers, pitchers, and everybody else on your team.
Breaking ball and another good stop. Full count. Well, I don't know if it was the fastball that Kipnis slammed back at him, but he's thrown a lot of off-speed junk to Lindor.
It was a fastball away that Kip he drilled back past his head.
See how aggressive the Indians play this. Runners hold. 3-2 pitch is fouled off.
Well, he wasn't going to give in and throw the fastball, was he?
No, and I didn't think he was going to start the runners there, but every once in a while you just never know. A manager might just feel something like he's going to make contact, he's going to put it in play.
True, but you know, with this guy behind the plate, he stops a lot of runners, you know, in situations.
3-2. Lindor lifts one to left center. CAIN able to run it down. 2 away. And so Mike Napoli to the plate with the Indians in front 2-1 here in the 5th inning with 2 men on base. And Napoli is 0 for 6 in the series. Had an RBI opportunity in the first, but bounced into a double play. An RBI chance in the no, he did not have an RBI chance in the 3rd because Lindor ended up getting thrown out trying to steal. But he's got 2 on, 2 out here in the 5th now. Napoli in his last 20 games has 19 runs driven in. He had a big month of May with 25 RBIs. He has been in the middle of a lot of clutch hits and rallies. Popped him up. This should get him out of the inning, and Perez squeezes this one. Well, Jason Kipnis gives the Indians the lead back here in the 5th with the RBI single. 2-1 Cleveland. We're halfway through. third of the Royals order due. Since the WHIT Merrifield home run tied the game in the third, Tomlin has retired 5 in a row. Now he's got that 1-run lead back. Paulo Orlando singled his only time up and takes a strike. Little low. And a big curveball.
Nice curveball.
He's had a good deuce tonight. I mean, he's thrown
pitch
it every once in a while for a strike when he's needed to.
Just remember when he was coming back from his injuries, you know, the elbow and then the shoulder, and the next thing you know, he couldn't throw that curveball. When he got healthy, that's the pitch that's really come back for him. He can throw it as hard as he wants, and he can bounce it, and it's been a very effective pitch.
4th strikeout of the night. 1 down here in the 5th as we take a look at our Circle K strikeout.
Yeah, why not? The 4th for Tomlin, and there it is. A little breaking ball down. You swing over the top. He can control that. He throws it in for a strike whenever he wants to. Get me over, and then he's got one he can put away. You throw it down in the zone, and you get the swing over the top. There's get me over. And it's a field pitch, and he's got a good feel for it.
Popped up, foul, out of play. Chesler Cuthbert struck out his only time up. And he fouls this one off. That one took off a little bit on him.
Yes, it did.
Cut under that breaking ball. 2-2.
Well, that's he got Cuthbert with a breaking ball, his first at bat, away, and wasted no time doing it. I think it was a 3-pitch strikeout.
And a line drive, base hit in the left field.
Yeah, he didn't get that one away. That stayed in on the plate a little more than going away. So Cuthbert comes back and gets him the second time, a 1-out single. Well, let's take a look. I think this one had a little too much of the plate. Yeah, he never got that ball away. And that's what hitters get, that, you know, they tell you made a mistake, the way they hit the ball, and there it was.
So Cuthbert aboard with 1 out here in the 5th, and Gerard Dyson, who bounced out the first, his only time up in the 3rd. Now, for the second night in a row, the Detroit Tigers have laid waste to a White Sox starting pitcher. Chasing Miguel Gonzalez with 7 runs early. They lead at 10-2 in the 4th. How about Chicago coming back and winning that game last night, though?
Yeah, that's a big win for them.
Early.
You're right. Yeah, they got that Detroit bullpen. You're right. That's a big win for them. This is where you may want to be careful here. Bottom part of the lineup, and 1-0 count. You could start your runner here. This guy could put it in play.
Chops it foul.
Usually hits a lot of balls on the ground.
Well, the Indians have done a good job in the first game and a half of this series of keeping the crowd relatively quiet, keeping them out of it.
They've been able to do it for the most part 2 nights in a row where you keep that offense off the board.
But a number of the Indians players have commented on the atmosphere here in Kansas City, because while it's not a complete sellout, it is packed with fans and they are into the game.
Hey, it's always fun to go on the road, and when you play when there's people in the seats. I mean, you get into it, it makes it exciting. You go on that road, you don't care if you hear the boos or people yelling at you. I mean, it gets you into it. And it keeps you into a ball game. A lot of fun. I used to love doing that.
I'm sure you played in front of some big crowds here, because the Royals had some great teams in
yes,
the late
they
70s,
did. And, yeah,
early 80s.
Loud.
One-two. Did he go?
No.
The appeal, he did not, says Eric Cooper down at third.
He thought about it. He thought about it, but he did not go. That curveball, that's the one he wanted him to chase after, but he was able to hold up.
Swung out and missed.
Oh, boy.
He struck him out, number 5 for Tomlin.
That's an excellent pitch, location, everything involved. He tied him up and ran that cutter inside. See where Gomes is sitting. He started it inside his target, and it stayed right there. What a beautiful pitch to get the swing and miss, and out number 2.
Top of the order, and Whit Merrifield. His home run, the Royals' only tally of the night, and Mickey Callaway is going to come out for a brief chat here.
I don't know, but this kid is, he's young enough. They don't know a lot about him, but Callaway, I think, just wants to talk about this situation. This kid, he did not have a home run coming into last night, and what happens? A breaking ball. It's an 0-2 pitch, and Carrasco served it out over the plate, and this is another breaking ball that cut, and it went to the middle part of the plate. So both of his pitches have come off breaking balls. They're the homers. So, and he had a triple in last night's ball game too. This guy is off to a very good start for the Royals.
Mentioned at the top of the telecast that 27 years old, he's not your typical rookie. He's actually older than Eric Hosmer, who seems like he's been around for years already.
Sure does. Taking advantage of his situation, that's for sure. An opening. And you look at his numbers for down in the minor leagues, man, I think he only had about 14 or 15 homers in his career down there.
But, he's a guy that played college baseball. He was at 3 years, South Carolina. He hit the walk-off hit in the College World Series final for South Carolina in his last game.
Nice pitch.
Popped him up.
And it was a fastball, too.
Jason Kipnis is under it, and the inning is over. 5 in the books. Cleveland 2, Kansas City 1.
big savings and access to Tribe Rewards. And today's Tribe Rewards TV code is Carrasco. Visit Indians.com season tickets for complete details.
Well, we roll on to inning number 6 with the Indians leading it 2-1.
So far, another low-scoring affair. 1 run, tight.
Ramirez has flied to center, flied to right. And a ball in the dirt. Bouncing ball, second base. Merrifield long throw, got him. Nice play by the rookie second baseman. Injury report tonight, courtesy of the attorneys at Elk and Elk. Boy, Yu Darvish, everybody was excited about his return, and now a right shoulder injury has knocked him back to the disabled list. You do all that work to come back from Tommy John surgery, and now the shoulder gives in.
Well, you know, who knows? They expect him back, and usually when you get him back and he's missed as much time as he has after the surgery, you expect him to be healthy. But
with Merrifield off balance throw, and Lonnie beats it out. Chisenhall with an infield single. Nice range by Merrifield just to get to it.
That was a very nice play. He made it a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. It's a fastball at Lonnie tops. It's going up the middle. He gets there and jumps. He got rid of it quickly with his momentum going into left field. But Lonnie gets his foot on the base. It'll be an infield single and a nice pick by Hosmer, but a nice play. Watch Chisenhall going down the line, and any hitter smells a hit. You want to go, go, go.
Well, here is Yan Gomes, 1 out of 2. Gomes singled down the left field line his first time up, was thrown out when he overslid the bag at second base. But it was one of those plays where, and we only got a brief look at the replay, he did overslide the bag, but it looked like there was a lot of help from whoever it was that took the throw. I think it was Merrifield.
It was.
Who literally pushed that hand right on by the bag.
Yeah, and it was easy for it to come off the bag because his momentum was going around. So you could just push it. You know, you can do that. That's. Tried to reach back around, but boy.
That's dirty pool, Arch.
No, it's not. That's pretty good thinking. It was dirty pool. That's the way we play at Niagara Falls.
Here's the 0-2. And a half swing foul back.
Well, that was one he didn't want a piece of, but I guess with 2 strikes protecting. And you know, he loves the ball down, but that's when you want to lay off of, period.
And a ground ball towards the hole. Backhanded by Escobar to second for 1 on the first, a double play. Middle of the 6th. It stays 2-1 Cleveland. Against Josh Tomlin, who has been magnificent through 5 innings, giving up just the 1 run on a solo shot in the 3rd. Smashed by the 3rd baseman. Ramirez with a diving attempt, but Alcides Escobar is aboard for Kansas City to start the home half of the 6th.
Well, you can see Ramirez is even with the bag, and then as soon as that ball is elevated a little bit, he gets on top of it and gets it past Ramirez. He was not hit too hard for Ramirez to do anything. Couldn't even take a step, had to dive to his left. That's hit number 5 for Kansas City.
Back by Eric Hosmer. Hosmer fouled out in the 1st, fly to center in the 3rd. Snap throw over, drives Escobar back. Alcides has stolen 10 out of 13 on the year. See if the Indians can turn a double play ball behind Josh Tomlin. That's hit deep to right. Back goes Lonnie and makes the catch in the middle of the warning track for out number 1 as
Looked
Escobar
like
goes back to 1st.
Just a little bit on that trademark.
Time for an in-game update. Here's Al Pulaski. All right, thanks, Al. Here's Lorenzo Cain, 0 for 2 and 0 for 6 in the series. And Tomlin misses inside ball 1. The Indians knew coming into this series that controlling Cain and Hosmer, who batted before him, are so important, and they've done a brilliant job all season long to this point. Fly ball center field. Back goes Naquin. And he'll make the catch. I mean, they've held those 2 guys to a total of 3 RBIs in, what is this, the 9th game played now?
Yeah, Josh said, you know what, this ballpark, if you're going to hit it in the air, you get it to left center, right center. That's what he's trying to do. Use the big part of the ballpark. That one there was hit well, but right to the big part of the ballpark. He didn't want Hosmer to pull the ball like he did, but he got it down just a little bit on the trademark. So he knows you utilize the big part of the ballpark. You don't want him to pull it here. That's what he told Andre when they talked, and that's exactly what he's doing. Don't let him pull it. You make a mistake and they hit it, but what are you going to do?
Salvador Perez is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out, fly to right. Check. Did he
Yeah,
go?
I thought
they
so.
appeal, and no. Ramon De Jesus said he didn't go. Sure looked like he did, but
there you get the look at pitch count by inning. Typical Josh Tomlin start. He's into the 6th inning. 75 pitches.
Baltimore beat Boston 3-2 earlier. What a matchup. Chris Tillman and David Price, and Tillman's 9-1.
Yeah, he beat him, right.
Tomlin trying to join that 9-1 club. The 1-0 is too high. Guy's working up a lather, and he's just sitting in his seat. But it is a humid night in Kansas City, with our game time temperature just above 90 degrees. Now the 2-0. Slow hook, and that's been a good pitch for him all night, but this time it dips low, and it's 3-0 now with Kendry Morales waiting on deck.
Well, you can't now just throw him a cookie or just throw him to get one over. You got to make a quality pitch here.
Popped him up on a 3-0 pitch. Perez got greedy, and Naquin can't make the play. Lindor comes up with the ball. He throws it home, and back to third goes Escobar.
As deep as they are playing in the outfield, it doesn't surprise me. I was looking out there, and you could barely see those guys, but that was you should be out of the inning, and the ball drops. But watch, he's not even on your screen. And by the time I saw him get a jump, and he was busting it right from the very first start. And he just couldn't. This outfield is so big, you cannot play that deep here. And he couldn't hold on to it. So now they let the inning continue.
Well, he called for it the whole way, and he got there, but he just didn't make the catch.
Sometimes when you're on that run like that, you can't call for it if you're going to come in and have to make that sliding catch. To me, that ball looked closer to Lindor than as far as Naquin had to come to catch the ball. I mean, that ball was up there. That's a routine out. Now, look, it's up. Now, let's go see. Lindor's going back. He's running. Now, he was going to go catch it, and he heard Naquin's call for it. That may be a mistake of calling for the ball because he didn't know if he could catch it or not. So it's one of those plays in between in this big outfield. That's because there's so much room. So now we'll see if Josh Tomlin can pitch around that. The Indians took advantage of the Kansas City mistake on the drop ball by Perez. Will Kansas City capitalize on the Indians' mistake?
Boy, it's a shame that's ruled a hit.
Well,
but
yeah.
That's how it goes down on the scorebook. And there are runners at second and third with 2 down, and Kendry Morales, the batter. Morales 1 for 2 on the night. Missed in tight, 1-1. I think that is one of the toughest things for a pitcher to overcome, because there has to be, you're human, there has to be a natural letdown inside that says, I'm not, oh no.
No, he's focused enough. He knows he's got to make some quality pitches right here. I mean, he's got to pick up his teammates, and Josh is a guy that he does that. He knows, look, I should be out of the inning, but look, I'm not. I've got to get this last out. There's one down. It's low. He's been calling the high strike tonight, not the one down. He's been consistent all night long.
Now the 2-1. Back out of play. So Josh comes back, and he's 1 strike away from getting out of this mess.
Well, he tried to go in there before, inside.
Been up though, except for the one pitch.
Yeah, he's tried to go inside to get him, and that's where. Let's see what he tries to finish him off with.
Try to surprise him with a low pitch. Second and third, 2 down. Last half of the 6th, Indians by a run. The payoff pitch. Swinging a ground ball to first.
That's picking up
Napoli
your boys
has
right
it
there. Good
to
job.
Tomlin, inning over. What a job by Josh Tomlin to get out of the jam here in the 6th, and the Indians still lead it 2-1. By Ford, built Ford tough. And by Subway, fresh is what we do. Well, it's a 2-1. Cleveland lead, top of the 7th inning. And a lot of conversation in the dugout at the end of the inning.
Well, Naquin's not a part of it right now because he's leading off, so he wasn't able to be a part of that conversation at this point, but I'm sure they'll definitely discuss what happened.
Dylan Gee, who came on the 5th, gave up the base hit to Jason Kipnis that plated the go-ahead run. Allowed 2 hits in an inning and 2/3. Naquin in the hole 0-2. He's 1 for 2 on the night. Now, I know the situation's not the same, but I'm looking out there at Lorenzo Cain, and he's playing.
It's not even close.
Completely. Well, he's playing shallow compared to where Naquin was.
Oh, I know. I was watching it, and
is there something about a bigger outfield makes you, in the back of your head, feel like you need to play deeper?
No, I don't know if it's him or they want him to play deeper. They want him to play deeper in a situation like that, but that on a play like that happened, that's an out. You know, your pitcher battled. He made his pitch. That's got to be caught. How they do it, I don't care. But he was way too deep for me.
The 3-2, and Naquin hits a fly ball to the left center. Cain running it down. 1 away.
You know, when you watch it, and I watched him, he got a good jump, but you can see he throws the bat, routine play, but he can't come in far enough to make a catch. And I mean, standing up, he had to go to the ground to make the catch. But what happens? You got Josh Tomlin that picks you back up. He picks the defense up. Now, if you get a base hit there and something happens, it's different. Give Tomlin a lot of credit right there.
That's why Josh
He got
Tomlin
4 outs in that inning.
is so respected in that clubhouse.
Absolutely.
That's why the guys love him. Not that every pitcher doesn't try to pick up your defense, but
it's not an easy thing to do.
When you do it, you earn a lot of points.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed. He stayed in there and did what he had to do. And you know, now no one feels bad. And you discuss it, you make sure it never happens again. That's all you learn from it.
Instead of everybody beating themselves up.
Oh, absolutely.
Hard ground ball to third. Cuthbert scoops it up, and there are 2 down. Well, the 5th inning, it was a defensive miscue by Kansas City that gave the Indians a chance here.
There it is. You're hearing things right there. They never called for it, and then we saw Perez. Then you get the stolen base. He's safe. Then the walk and a base hit, and that's how the Indians take the lead because there was an extra out in the inning. They took advantage of it. Kansas City could not.
Now Carlos
and you know,
Santana.
little things like that when you get into one-run games and you're in your division, you're playing rivalries, mean a lot.
Well, and
it can turn the tide in a heartbeat.
To reiterate what I said earlier, you know, Ned Yost said this is a big game. It's a 2-game swing here.
Yes.
And both teams realize that. Santana shoots one high in the air. This might stay in play. And no, it leaks over into the crowd, and Carlos will get another chance. And the Royals win tonight, and then first place is up for grabs tomorrow. The Indians win, and then no matter what, they'll still leave town with first place under their arm.
Well, and they're 500 on this 10-game trip. You know, West Coast swing and coming back into Kansas City, you can get a win tonight and then win tomorrow. It'd be a very good trip. If you can split, it's still a 500 trip, and that's what you strive for. But now you got to win this one right now because Kansas City won the first one 2-1. And then it would be a real fun contest tomorrow.
Another night game tomorrow if you're planning your evening for Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time start. We'll have it for you right here on Sports Time Ohio. 2-1 pitch.
Good breaking ball.
Santana with that home run back in the third, his 13th career homer in this ballpark. Surprising to me, that's more than any Indians players ever hit here at Kauffman Stadium. The 2-2. Right back to him. And an easy 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Gee. Stretch time in Kansas City. 2-1 Cleveland. 7th inning, bottom third of the Royals order. And Josh Tomlin will start the inning. Just over 80 pitches on the night, but activity in the bullpen behind him. And a first pitch strike to Paulo Orlando, who's 1 for 2 on the night. And he's trying to dump one in, and he will. A leadoff single for Kansas City on a little bloop job to shallow right.
Yeah, he went to right field in his first at bat when he got the base hit. Nothing you can do here. Off the end of the bat, it was a good pitch. Off the plate, hits it off the end of the bat and gets a base knock. So leadoff man aboard again here in the 7th inning. Looks like Manship up and throwing in the Indians bullpen.
Bunt. Tomlin looks to second, takes the out at first.
Very smart.
1 away.
You know, initially when he went after that ball, he was thinking second base, but he had to be sure he could get the out. He wasn't sure he'd get the out at first base.
Hey, the U.S. Open's coming up this weekend. 116th playing of the Open Championship. Live coverage on FS1 begins Thursday through the final round on Father's Day, or you can watch it on Fox Sports Go. Gerard Dyson 0 for 2. A little bit outside. Swung on and missed. Dyson went up the ladder and chased one. And now Tomlin 1 strike away from getting the second out on this inning.
Yeah, got him to chase that fastball above the belt, let her high. Gets the swing and miss. Tomlin 90 pitches, 60 strikes.
Pulls it to first. Napoli takes it himself, and there are 2 away.
Did a nice job of changing the eye level after the high fastball, dropped the curveball, and he topped it down into the ground.
So Whit Merrifield will bat with 2 down and a runner at third. He's been the flavor of the month here in Kansas City. This 27-year-old rookie has been very impressive. He homered back in the third for the Royals' only run.
Here's how he finishes Dyson off. There's the high fastball, the chase, and then comes back and goes down. Well done.
How does he go about getting Whit Merrifield?
He got him with the fastball last time. Okay, and he got him to pop it up into shallow right field, and KIPNIS made the play. So I think he ran that fastball inside on him. And they went out and they talked about it. You had Napoli, you had Gomes, you had Tomlin right out there. So
boom, strike 1.
Good cutter away.
Hits are even at 7 apiece. Tying run at third base. The 0-1 pitch. Yeah, up and in. Spun him out of there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It looked like he was looking away again because he didn't really turn away from that pitch.
Slicing, foul, and out of play. Whitley David Merrifield, born and raised in the South, so to speak, born in South Carolina, went to high school in North Carolina, and went to college in South Carolina. Helped the Gamecocks to the 2010 College World Series title. Walk-off hit in his final game. Again, he's up and in, and it's 2-2.
Well, he's gone away and in, away and in. Watch, this is the second time now. It's almost like you don't even see it. He gets out of the way. He barely got out of the way of the first one.
Tomlin emptying the tank here as he closes in on 100 pitches for the night. Alcides Escobar is next. The 2-2. Chop up the middle. Cut off by Lindor. Throws it out. Ends the inning. A magnificent job tonight by Josh Tomlin. 7 innings, just 1 run allowed. Telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. (2-1) Cleveland. And here in the 8th inning, Jason Kipnis will lead it off. Kipnis drove in the go-ahead run in the 5th. With a line shot off Dylan Gee that almost took his ear off with it. That was the first batter that Gee faced. He's done a nice job since then, though.
Yes, he's settled down. I don't think he's going to see that fastball where he did the last time, though. Kipnis drove in the Indians' only run last night with a home run in the 8th inning.
Gee able to go long relief because he's made starts this year. You know, I was talking to Jabba Chamberlain about that role when you bounce back and forth, because he's done both.
Starter, yes, right.
He said it's harder when you do it in season. He said if you go to spring training and they tell you you're starting or relieving, as long as you stay in that role all year, it's no big deal if you go back and forth from year to year. But he said when you do it in the season, you go from starter to reliever and back and forth. He said that can take its toll, because while it's still just throwing the baseball, a lot of it is, you know, you get used to a routine as a starter. Your arm gets used to feeling a certain way between starts. Now all of a sudden you're throwing out of the bullpen. You might go 3 or 4 days in a row, or 3 out of 5. And he said it's harder. The wear and tear is different when you're doing it in season back and forth.
Probably the fact that you're not sure. You know, there's a little doubt in your mind of when you're going to pitch and how you're going to pitch. And
Francisco Lindor is 2 for 3 tonight. He has singled, doubled, fly to center. And he chops one up the middle. Will it get through? Merrifield scoop flips it to Escobar, but the throw to first not in time. That was some really quick thinking by Merrifield, and they almost retired Lindor, who had a smile for Sandy Alomar.
well, I'll tell you what, that was heads up. He wasn't going to be able to throw him out, and he realized that, but Lindor's speed beats it out. Heads up play. Third hit, though, for Lindor.
I wonder if Escobar was expecting it.
You know what?
I just saw him motion Ricky like I should have barehanded it and tried to throw it.
Well, you know what? They haven't played together that long, so maybe not. You know, they might not know each other that well yet. But that was a pretty heads-up play.
We saw Lindor make that same play in Cleveland.
Was it Ramirez?
He dove up the middle, flipped it to Ramirez,
right.
and Ramirez threw the runner out.
When they were playing, he was on the right side of the infield, and Ramirez was playing third and over at shortstop.
One-0 pitch down low. Let's look back, Rick. It was a week ago Saturday at home. There's Lindor, the diving stop, but he went to the barehand flip.
Oh yeah, that's the throwback day. 76 jersey. There you go. But that was a beautiful play. You see, he went to the ground. He was Merrifield was on his feet here when he had to flip it because he knew he wasn't going to be able to try and make a throw there.
And I think Escobar, it happened so fast, but after the fact he was saying, I should have grabbed it with my bare hand. I could have thrown it quicker and I might have had a chance. But good hustle by Lindor, not assuming anything, because that can get you in trouble. You think, oh, this is a hit all the way, and the next thing you know, they come up with a spectacular play. You don't want to be just jogging down to first. He ran it out hard. Now a snap throw back, close, but he beats the tag of Hosmer, and Hosmer said, hey guys, let's take another look at this one.
Well, with nobody in that left-handed batter's box, it's a nice throw for Perez, and he comes down and he knows it. Look how quick he releases that ball, and that was right on target. Now there's Hosmer saying, take it, check it out.
And
he
Joe
feels.
says no. You were wrong.
Maybe he was just telling him to look at it.
Mike Napoli awaits the 3-1 pitch. And it's ball 4. And now the Indians looking to add to their lead. This could be crucial right here. 2 on, 1 out. And Ned Yost might be coming out to make a pitching change here. He's got a right-hander. I think it's Joaquin Soria up in the bullpen right now for Kansas City.
There was Infante and Escobar, where he went to the backhanded flip and they were able to get Perez.
A little different with the catcher running.
Yes, exactly. Soria was up throwing. Now Yost is not motioned to the pen yet, but let's see. Yeah, now he does.
So we've got a timeout for a pitching change with 2 on, 1 out in the 8th, and the Indians up a run. Royals in the series finale. Our coverage begins with Indians Live at 7:30. First pitch at 8. Right here on Sports Time Ohio. Swing into summer, presented by Miller Lite. 2 on, 1 out. Jose Ramirez, the batter. Joakim Soria for the 30th time this year on the pitch for Kansas City. Jose is 0 for 3 in the ballgame and 0 for 6 in the series. But he's up in a key spot here, and he has been very good in these clutch situations. A .395 average with runners in scoring position. That's second best in the American League. And a check swing, bouncer, foul, third base side.
Yeah, didn't want to, but that ball just went off the bat. It's a good thing it went foul. It looked like it might have been a little cutter inside. He's got the big slow curveball, pretty good fastball.
He flinched but did not go, and it's 1-1.
Too shabby right there. .395 with the runners in scoring position. The Indians tacked a L on Soria on that comeback. First game of the 4-game series back in Cleveland.
Fouled out of play. 1-2. Been a bit of a struggle for Ramirez on the road this year. He's about 100 points, actually more than that, lower average on the road compared to at Progressive Field. Now the 1-2. Outside. He's had a very selective eye at the plate. He's very tough to strike out, especially in these situations. Doesn't mean he's always going to get a hit, but he gives you usually a quality at bat. Eerily silent. 2-2 outside, full count.
Well, they're holding their breath. They realize, hey, you know what? We can't afford to have them score anymore. It's a 2-1 ball game. And he laid off a couple of good pitches off the outside part of the plate to stay alive. 3-2 count. Can he remain as patient?
Well, last night it was a 2-1 game in favor of Kansas City as they won the opener. Roles reversed here tonight in the 8th. Indians looking to add. The 3-2 struck him out. And as you pointed out, could he be as patient? The answer, no.
Well, and that's what a lot of hitters do, man. You get yourself to that full count, and they just assume that pitcher's going to throw you a strike on 3-2, and you know you widen your strike zone a little bit. That could have been ball 4. It's a thing. It takes a long time to learn. But those pitchers prey on the aggressiveness of hitters with runners in scoring position.
Especially a veteran like Soria.
Yes.
Lonnie Chisenhall swings and bounces it foul.
Same thing. Started him with a little, looked like a cutter inside.
Outfield actually shades Lonnie more toward left center. So pretty good gap beyond second base in the outfield. 1-1 to count. Down to a knee on the swing and a miss. Brian Shaw warm in the bullpen, ready to come in. I would imagine it's his game in the 8th. I think Josh Tomlin has thrown his last pitch tonight, but we'll wait and see for sure. In the meantime, the 1-2 to Chisenhall. Bouncer to third. Inning over. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 2-1 Cleveland. And Josh Tomlin brought it tonight, didn't he?
Well, he certainly did. Josh, I mean, he goes out there and, boy, he has such good command and he moves it in and out. This is the 6th time in 12 starts that he has not walked the batter. He had 5 strikeouts, gave up 7 hits, picked up his teammates, got 4 outs in his last inning, and did a whale of a job. And now, you know, is in line and has set him up for the win. Of course, there's 6 outs left, so he turned it over to the bullpen. It's Brian Shaw coming on for the 30th time. 24 1/3 innings, 9 walks, 25 strikeouts.
Both of his losses have come on the road this year, including Saturday in Anaheim.
Well, he's going through the 2, 3, and 4 hitters.
Alcides Escobar 1 for 3 on the night. Looks at a ball up high. Down low with it, 2-0. And Escobar swung through a high fastball.
It's rare you see him take the first 2 pitches in an at-bat, even though when he has the count in his favor. I had a pretty good feeling he was going to swing no matter where this pitch was.
And he takes there, and it's 3-1. That cutter just moves violently.
Well, yeah. I mean, that sometimes it gets him in trouble.
Popped up foul, and this will find its way into the seats. Full count. Escobar with Eric Hosmer and Lorenzo Cain to follow here in the 8th inning. And the payoff pitch right down the middle, and he pops it up. Isn't that funny how that works sometimes? I know Shaw doesn't throw a ball straight, but that ball looked like it was right down the heart of the plate, and Escobar just pops it up weakly.
Well, you see him throw his bat down it, and that's a lot of times, you know, you give hitters so much credit, pitchers do. You know, you can make it. There it is. That ball splits the plate, and he just popped it up. You know, sometimes you're looking away, you're looking in. Hey, I'm going to throw it down the middle, you pop it up. You just never know.
0 for 3, fly to deep right his last time up. And he takes a borderline pitch for ball 1. Just a bit inside, 2-0. Same situation that he had with Alcides Escobar. Difference being with Hosmer, he can get selective, and he's got power to drive the ball out of here.
Any field. He likes the ball up.
Wow. Might have caught a break there, 2-1.
Well, take a look at it, see what you think. Oh my goodness. I would think so. That is a break.
Goes right back out there, and Hosmer swings at it.
Well, yeah, if he's going to call it the first time, you almost have to swing the bat the next time.
I'm curious to see if Shaw just stays right out there.
Well, I think I would.
Or do you think Hosmer may be looking out there and he try to surprise him in? with that cut fastball.
No, don't surprise him in. You're not surprising him in. Stay out there.
No, they went back and forth.
Okay.
Gomes said in. Shaw shook him off.
I don't blame him.
He said away.
Look.
He shook him off. Well, and it's one or the other. What do you want to do here?
I'll tell you, Raleigh Fingers, who's one of the best closers around, said, when you get the game on the line, he said, I'm going to make them beat me with three hits. You know, I'm not going to make a mistake where one swing could either tie or lose the game. I'm going to keep that ball away. If they want to take their base hits to left, fine. You're going to have to get 3 of them to beat me.
Interesting. He's going off speed here.
Cutter.
Way outside, full count.
I would have liked that one fastball that they left about 4 to 6 inches off the plate to get the strike.
And the 3-2 pitch swung on. High chopper. Ramirez can't come up with it. And the door is open for Kansas City.
Well, it was a high hopper, and he was going to have to beat it out. We'll never know if Ramirez makes the catch, if he would have got him. They're playing deep. He just never held on to the ball. I'm sure they'll give him a hit being in Kansas City, but there's a play, again, you have to make, or at least make the throw.
I'm really surprised they give him a hit on that, to be honest with you.
You're in Kansas City, and he's one of their boys. I understand. I understand.
Wow. I mean, the ball's in your glove.
They're trying to say maybe he would have beat it out, but I'm thinking if Ramirez makes the throw, you can get him.
That was not as close as Cain's histrionics made it look. One on, one out. Instead of 2 outs, bases empty. Lorenzo Cain, the batter, 0 for 3 on the night. 2-0. And this has been the theme with all 3 batters that Shaw has faced here in the inning. Cody Allen is up, getting hot in the Cleveland bullpen, and Terry Francona not afraid to go to him for multi-inning saves. He knows how important this game is, just as Ned Yost does. Swung on and missed. He almost.
Well, he tried to give him the lead. You have the situation, a 2-0 count. You keep pitching from behind to the good hitters. They're gonna take their shots. And you're talking about their 2 best, Hosmer and Cain. You fall behind those guys 2-0, they're going to take healthy cuts and try and drive the ball out of the ballpark.
And Cain chased a ball low and away, and that's 95 miles an hour with movement.
Well, watch where this one's down, and that's running away. That's a great pitch there.
I mean, you wonder, how can a guy miss a ball by that much? Well, when it's 95 and it's moving that much.
It's running. That was in an excellent location, and it is running. Once you start to swing, you got to let it go.
Up high, full count. Salvador Perez waiting on deck. How much longer will Terry Francona wait? If Shaw ends up walking Cain, that'll be really interesting to see. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him to chase with that 95-mile-an-hour pitch. Second time in the at-bat he went to it. And now there are 2 down in the inning.
Well, let's look at that sequence from Shaw to Cain. And there you'll see a fastball up and missed. Ball 1. Nice pitch down, a little low. Then he got the big swing on a 2-0 pitch. That's the great pitch there, and he's going to put him away with the great pitch because he missed with that fastball. 2 of those pitches there, the 2, strike 2, strike 3, outstanding pitches.
Yeah, because at 95, you don't have time to pick up the movement on that pitch. Uh-oh, Perez golfing one deep left center. Back is Naquin. Goodbye.
Well, that's the shot Kansas City was looking for. And Shaw left that breaking ball in on the plate. Didn't get it away. And it's Perez's 10th home run, and it gives the Royals a 3-2 lead. Watch the cutter. That stayed middle of the plate, and he first pitch put the barrel of the bat to it and got it out of here. That was what they were looking for. It's the loudest we've heard the crowd all night long. So yeah. Shaw again. There it is. Just right there down the middle.
(3-2) Kansas City now as Henry Morales looks at a ball outside. Fouled right back. Again, hate to belabor the point, but the play that wasn't made looms very large in the inning. I know they gave him a hit, but it sure looked like a play that should have been made by Jose Ramirez.
Yes, indeed.
The 2-1. Grounded up the middle. Lindor goes to Ramirez, back to first. They got him. Boy, a spectacular play to end the inning, but too little too late as the Royals now surge ahead on the 2-run homer with 2 outs by Salvador Perez. All right, thanks, Al. Joakim Soria stays on for Kansas City, which tells us that Wade Davis is unavailable. He pitched 3 days in a row. As important as these games are, there is still the rest of the season to consider. So Ned Yost giving Davis the night off. The last time he did this, the Indians got Soria in Cleveland. But right now, Soria's got Yan Gomes down on the count 0-2. Tyler Naquin to follow, and then Rajai Davis. And a ground ball backhanded by the shortstop Escobar and makes the play. 1 down.
Well, the Indians get this play, and here's the flip we showed. We showed you 2 or 3 of them. They end the inning. But Horse already was out of the barn.
Well, it's the play that Ramirez didn't come up with. It's the one that looms very large. And again, it was ruled a hit. Maybe he wouldn't have thrown him out, but my money would have been on Ramirez had he held on to the ball. It was in his glove, but in the transfer he lost it. And it opened the door. It gave the crowd life. It gave Kansas City some life. And then after he gets a huge strikeout of CAIN, Perez with the dagger. Now the 1-1 pitch and a foul back. And this is what makes this game so great. I mean, in Cleveland, the Indians absolutely own the Royals. They beat them 4 straight. They came back on the bullpen that nobody ever comes back on.
Well,
I don't think anybody expected the Indians to roll in here and just beat the daylights out of them again.
Not when you have the best home team in the league. 20-7 coming into this ball game tonight. They feel good about themselves in this ballpark, and you get to the 8th inning and down to that final out of the 8th inning, and they get a 2-run shot.
And I think because of what they've done in the postseason, in particular last year, even the year before, they feel like they're always going to win.
Yes,
especially at home. Naquin strikes out, 2 down. Keys to the game recap courtesy of Mazda. Indians only got 1 run off of Young while he was in the game. They would tag another run to his line when KIPNIS got the base hit off reliever Dylan Gee. But Young didn't do anything special, but he didn't implode either. And it wasn't Hosmer or CAIN tonight. It was Salvador Perez who crushed him in the end. Rajay Davis keeps it alive for Cleveland. Nice 2-out single for the speedster. Now this really gets interesting because you've got Davis aboard with 2 down, and the old saying, it's not how many stolen bases, is can you steal it when you need it. Now this is the ultimate test of that against one of the best throwing catchers in the game.
Well, and also you just want to move. We'll have to check and see what Soria. I don't think his move is going to be as slow as Young's, that's for sure. So we'll get a look. And you know what? Santana's up there. He has a lot of. They're playing very deep in right field anyway. CAIN, he's backing up, and anything to that gap, I'm saying Davis is going to score. Very quick to the plate, so not a good guy to try and steal off of.
The 0-1 pitch. Santana takes a low, 1-1. Carlos Santana, who earlier tonight hit his 13th career homer in this
ballpark. Hold on, we got timeout. Rajay's going out there to try and get his lead and get that. He's marking the spot where he wants to get to.
Santana has hit more home runs in this park than any Indians player ever. He awaits the 1-1. Fouls it back. He had a pitch to rip there. It was at 94 miles an hour though. And now Soria 1 strike away from putting the Indians down here in game 2. A crowd of just under 30,000. And I don't think any of them have left early. They're on their feet with 2 down in the 9th. Davis takes off, the pitch up high, the throw to second, save, and now the tying run is in scoring position.
Boy, that's gutsy right there. You talk about being a cat burglar. That throw was a little high by Perez and enabled Rajai to get his hand into the base. So that you talk about stealing it when you have to. Here you go. He picked his leg up. He looks back. He knows he's got to go. But boy, that was close.
No challenge coming from Ned Yost. And now all it would take is a base hit for Carlos Santana to tie it up. But Santana with a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, Santana under the 200 mark with runners in scoring position, and this is the toughest one to get with 2 outs.
Outfield around toward right. Time was called. Soria never heard it apparently. I don't know who called it. Santana's looking at Jim Wolf. Salvador Perez is asking him. Let's play ball. The 2-2. Nothing doing.
Trying to get a free out. What's he going to steal third for? It doesn't matter. He's the tying run. He's not going anywhere.
Well, maybe they figured it worked once in the game.
Yeah, crack of the bat.
Whoa, and a full count. Should Santana walk, Jason Kipnis would be next.
It looked like Soria thought he had a strike there. You know, where he jumped, he took a little crow hop coming in, but he has not been calling the ball down. It had to be low.
You saw Perez point to him like, that's where I wanted it. Keep it down there. Don't get it up around thigh high. That game of cat and mouse continues. Rajai Davis, the tying run at second base. Soria gives him a look. The 3-2 to Santana. Ball 4. And now Jason Kipnis will get a chance. He drove in a run back in the 5th inning. And already with 3 hits in the series. And a chance to get a big knock here as Michael Martinez darts in from the dugout to run for Carlos Santana at first base.
There's a situation, though, when Davis went to second base. Soria's been around long enough. He had first base open. He was going to make his pitch and make him swing or chase. And if he didn't, he'd walk him. Now the infield has a force out, but he wasn't going to give in and throw a strike.
Well, we'll see what Jason Kipnis is looking for in this at bat. Aggressively, he drove in the go-ahead run in the 5th inning. He jumped on the first pitch from Dylan Gee, lined it right back into center. Soria taking a lot of time as he goes back behind the mound, grabs a rosin bag, looks into the Royals dugout. Now he's ready. In the dirt, and a good block by Salvador Perez yet again. Ball ever get by this guy?
No, he's like pulling up the hitting cage, man. It never does.
I don't think anybody in this ballpark is sitting down.
Well, Kip drove in the 2nd run tonight. He drove in their only run last night. This could be another one here tonight.
Throw to second, close play, safe is the call.
They'll check that one.
And Ned Yost comes to the top step of the dugout.
They're going to check that one, I would imagine. What do you got to lose? It's the 9th inning. 2 outs. Nope, goes back in. He got back. Boy, how close has he been tonight? A couple of times at first base. He got the hand back. At second base, he gets the hand back. Boy, oh boy, that's close. Escobar tried to sell it.
There have been more timeouts in this.
Well, you know what he's doing? He's trying to quick pitch him. He's trying to get into it, and he's trying to hurry up his delivery, so they're calling timeout on him.
The 1-0 to Kipnis, a bouncer foul up the first base side. And a count 1-1.
See, it doesn't look like he's comfortable on the mound, but he's not letting the hitters get comfortable because they're getting in, and he's already starting up in his delivery.
Everybody in Kansas City, they're not on the edge of their seats because they can't stand to even sit. They're all standing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're all on their feet. And boy, this crowd will be silent if KIPNIS can find a gap out there.
Tying run at second, go ahead run at first. 1-1 pitch, fouled back. And again, the Indians are down to their last strike.
It's all right. They need a pick-me-up. Right man at the right spot. He's got a 1-2 count. I'd be surprised if he throws a good pitch or a strike even. He may nibble for a couple of pitches.
Yanked foul and into the crowd. It skipped through. The fact that everybody's standing means it might be even tougher if you're a row or two behind where that ball enters. Still a 1-ball 2-strike count. This will already be the 30th pitch of the inning for Soria. Hits even at 9 apiece, but the Indians down a run here in the 9th, and now KIPNIS backs away. CAIN, the center fielder, shading KIPNIS toward left center. And the right fielder Orlando way off. He's over 100 feet off the line.
I know, that's what I'm looking at. And they were trying to pitch him in.
The 1-2. Hopped him up. Cuthbert. And the Royals win again. Their 4th straight victory, as they beat the Indians for the 2nd night in a row by a single run. 3-2 is the final, as the Indians tried to make a comeback here in the 9th, but they can't get the clutch hit to tie or take the lead. And Kansas City has now closed the gap to a single game in the American League Central Division as they go to 34-30, and the Indians are now 35-29. Now, this was a good ball game tonight. Lots of plot twists and turns. Joakim Soria ends up the winner, and he is 3-2. The loser is Brian Shaw. He's now 0-3, and all 3 of his losses have come on the road.
Well, it was not a good pitch to Perez, who jumped on his first pitch coming out for the 2-run homer. You can't let him try and drive the ball, but he made a mistake pitch, and Perez took advantage of it. And again, 1-run ball game. That's one game here. You have to win 2-1 coming on the road.
3-2 is the final. We're back with some final thoughts from Kauffman Stadium right after this.